1, 2, 3.
Shut up, man. You already know.
All right, man. Have some fun.
Jets on 3. 1, 2, 3. Jets.
We are back at MetLife Stadium for an AFC East matchup between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Mike White, Connor McGovern, Greg Van Roten entering the stadium just a few moments ago. Welcome to Pregame Central, presented by Uber Eats. It is our annual Salute to Service game. Today, we celebrate all those who serve and their families for the ultimate sacrifice. Eric Allen, Eric Coleman, Anthony Beck are here on set. And we'll also be joined today by Ethan Greenberg, Nick Mangold, and Chef Ann Burrell. Everybody's here today, E.
Oh, yeah, everybody's excited. Shout out to all the veterans, all the servicemen and women out there. And, we really appreciate your sacrifices and everything that you do for our country. Thank you.
And let's hear it for the flight crew as well. The New York Jets getting warmed up on the field. Of course, they host the Buffalo Bills. They will reach the midway point of this season today at halftime, the first 17-game season in NFL history. Eric Coleman, what do you think about what the young Jets have done at home so far this season? 2-1, and they've taken down some good clubs here. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. Are the Buffalo Bills next?
Yeah, I think the young players have really stepped up, taken that energy from that home crowd and put it towards the game. They've dominated on the offensive and defensive line, dominated the line of scrimmage. C.J. Mosley being back is a big part of their success, getting those guys lined up, being that tone setter on defense. And then offensively, you have all the weapons. They're getting the ball. Mike White has been doing a great job. Josh Johnson did a great job last week. So a lot to look forward to for the Jets.
Anthony, Mike White to make his third NFL start for the green and white today. I'll tell you what. 405 yards, making history the last time White was here at MetLife Stadium. What's next?
Man, I'll tell you, I've been impressed. I mean, listen, you're coming into a role. The expectation level probably wasn't very high. I think a lot of the fans would say, yeah, what do we have here? We don't have a veteran quarterback. We don't have a guy that we can lean on. They go get Flacco, and all of a sudden this kid gets on the field, and not only did he do that in that game against the Bengals, how about the start against the Colts? I mean, some of those throws before he got injured in the game were pretty impressive. So he's playing with a lot of confidence. I think the guys really do believe in him, which is great. And I think just like you talked about 2 wins versus very good teams, sometimes when teams don't have the best record halfway through the season, they can't hang their hat on anything. When you beat a team like the Bengals and the Titans, you think, well, heck, we can do this, right? We can beat anybody. We can play with anybody. And I think that's something that they'll have going into this game versus Buffalo, especially when they watched them on film last week versus the Jags. I mean, they didn't look like the same team, and that doesn't guarantee anything that they're going to come out. Everybody's like, oh, Buffalo's going to come out and play better. No way. That's not how it works. They got to still come out and execute, and I think the Jets have a really good chance of making this a really good game today.
Joe Flacco is today's backup quarterback. Mike White, of course, making his third start for the green and white. This is a step up in class for the Jets offense. So when you're talking about the Buffalo Bills defense, who leads the NFL in a number of categories across the board, including scoring, total yards, pass defense. But the Bills will be without a pair of starters today in Tremaine Edmonds and Star Latulippe.
Yeah, that's a big.
That's a tongue twister for me.
Yeah, I mean, the Buffalo's defense, they don't give up a lot of big plays. They force turnovers. They play together as a unit. So it's going to be a big challenge for the offense. It's going to be a big test to see where Mike White and this offense are right now moving forward.
What do you think about the matchup against the Bills' defense? It's a veteran secondary, very good safeties. You could make the argument that Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, best safety tandem in the National Football League.
Yeah, I'll tell you now, every level's got some type of really good standout player, and they got a tremendous amount of depth at the defensive line position. You say stars out of the game, well, they got Addison that comes in, Butler, Espinosa, Phillips. These guys are backups. They roll about 8 or 9 guys at the defensive line. It keeps them fresh, and it gives them that spurt they need for 4 quarters of football. You know, I got to watch these guys live calling the Chiefs and Buffalo game a couple weeks ago, and I just came off really impressed. I mean, the way they play, the linebackers, they didn't even have Milano in that game, and they were able to come back and play strong. And that secondary, like you talked about, it's something that Mike White's going to have to deal with.
Uber Eats, the official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL, is delivering game day deals all season. Order now with your Uber Eats app. We're watching Mike White get warmed up here on the field at MetLife Stadium. Divisional battle. The Jets looking for that first divisional win in the Robert Saleh era. Of course, they were swept by the New England Patriots. They start their season series with the Bills today. It's a Bills team, Eric. Anthony alluded to it. They're going to be a fired-up group considering what happened to them last week, a double-digit favorite against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they were only able to muster 6 points.
Well, you know, that shows you that it's any given Sunday. You know, you can't come into this league, any team in this league, you cannot go into a game expecting to win. You know, just look at your opponent. So that gives the Jets hope. I mean, like Anthony said earlier, the Jets have 2 wins against 2 very good teams who people expect to be competing for the AFC Championship. Now, when you look at the Buffalo Bills, yes, it's a division game. That makes it even that much sweeter. You're playing at home. You know, the Jets should be fired up today. They should know by watching the film that they have a great shot of winning this game if they don't beat themselves.
Anthony, what did Jacksonville do last week to contain the explosive Bills offense? Because you talk about just 2 field goals. A lot of folks in Buffalo are saying Jacksonville played a lot of cover 2 and said, you're not going to beat us up top, and they didn't.
They attacked them at the line of scrimmage. I mean, they hit Josh Allen. They forced turnovers. You know, one thing about Josh Allen, he's an extremely good running quarterback as well for all the passing yards he has, but he's a big guy. He's a big target. So you see the fumble, you see the ball get knocked out, and they did a lot of that, and they brought it for 4 quarters. That's the one thing. When you play teams like Buffalo, they got juice to get you at some point in the game. And if you slip or let up for a series or a string of plays, they're going to make you pay for it because they got weapons across the board, all the receivers that they have, and, of course, with Josh Allen's legs. So, you know, when you look at this team, I just think that when you watch that film, there's holes. You know, everybody has a blueprint on how to beat them, right? And that's one thing we're going to have to lean on this week is the Jets' defensive line has to show up. You know, the against the rush last week wasn't great, and it's something they have to build on and get better on. And I really anticipate Buffalo coming out trying to run the ball a little bit. So they're going to get a chance to knuckle up a little bit and try to get the line of scrimmage won. They're going to have to do it today.
Great scene here at MetLife Stadium. The flight crew is here. A lot of the military is out here as well. Our annual salute to service game. Let's get to Ethan Greenberg right now, who is an update on a key Jet expected to make a return to the lineup today.
Thanks, EA. Let's focus on this Jets offense, which should be getting some reinforcements, namely wide receiver Corey Davis, who's missed each of the last 2 games with a hip injury. Now, the last game Davis did play was at New England when he caught Mike White's first ever regular season NFL pass attempt, and it happened to go for a touchdown. Now, in his absence, the Jets have put up 997 yards on a red-hot tear, and this is a welcome addition to the offense considering Davis leads the team in receiving yards and touchdowns. And also, let's focus on the backfield. Tevin Coleman expected to return to the lineup after sustaining a hamstring injury. Now, with Coleman, he hasn't taken a ton of snaps on offense, only 40. But the last game he played was Week 5 at London when the Jets took on the Falcons, and he did something for the first time in his career. He kick returned, and he was a good one for the Jets. Remember, he had that 65-yard return in the second half to kind of jumpstart that offense. Well, perhaps Tevin Coleman will line up at kick returner today. And then let's talk about this roster moves yesterday. A big transaction for the Jets. They activate both Braden Mann and Connor McDermott. They place Chuma Adoga on IR, and then they elevate 4 players from the practice squad to the active roster for today's game against the Bills. Kenny Yeboah, Nick Bawden, Hamaka Rashid, and Ronnie Blair, who last played in 2019 with Robert Saleh in San Francisco. Now, this is interesting because each team can elevate 2 players from the practice squad to the active roster. Well, the Jets had 4. And why is that? Well, they had a roster exemption because they placed Denzel Mims on the reserve COVID-19 list earlier this week. That would be 3 players. Perhaps Jason Pinnock, EA, could have been placed on the reserve COVID-19 list. Remember, he was questionable whether or not he was going to play, needed to show a negative test yesterday. We don't know the answer to that, just playing a little bit of a guessing game here, and the full inactives come out shortly, but just something to keep an eye on. EA, back to you.
You are watching Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. It is the annual Jets Salute to Service game. A lot of military members out there today. Always a special day at MetLife Stadium. Eric Allen, Eric Coleman, and Anthony Beck. Now we're joined by a pair of special guests. Former Jets center Nick Mangold, of course, and Chef Ann Burrell.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell us what you all were doing as far as the tailgates this morning?
So we got to go out and have a grand old time. We filmed an episode at Tailgate Center. Spoiler alert, this is my guest judge. But we had 2 guys going against each other. The spread was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And what was the spread?
I mean, well, the spread, I think we covered the spread, but we definitely, I mean, we had beef Wellington, we had dinosaur bones, we had
Chicken, the beans.
We had surf and turf with crab cakes and lobster, butter poached lobster. There was cheesecake with bananas Foster on top of it, sauteed apples with candied bacon, and a bourbon vanilla milkshake. I mean, I am ready for the day now.
Oh my God, a little slice of heaven. And before we get Eric in here, I have to tell you that I attended Canisius College, a small Jesuit school in Buffalo, New York, my freshman year, and you share that in common as well, right?
I'm an alumni of Canisius College. I actually lived in Buffalo all 4 years. They went to the Super Bowl and did not win. So I'm expecting a not win today.
There you go. Exactly what Jets fans want to hear.
Oh, yeah, that's what we want to hear. And can I talk to you? It just so happened, you and I are on a show called Battle for the Bird that debuts tonight on Food Network. Can you talk about your experience with that show?
So it was so delightful that I am here with you today on the day of our inaugural session together for the Food Network show Battle for the Bird. It was Eric, his wife, and his mother-in-law, Carmela. That God bless you for that one.
Yeah, she's a firecracker.
She is delightful. Oh my gosh, but she's a lot. Cooking against, so it was family versus a Friendsgiving. And so they each had to put together a Thanksgiving dinner with the decor. Eric was in charge of the decor. So you might know it was centered around football a little bit. But it's so tonight at 10 o'clock on the Food Network, we'll see who really reigns supreme for Battle of the Bird.
Yeah, and that was a great experience. It was super competitive, very exciting. But can you talk about tailgating and the food and how it brings everyone together? Talk about the importance of the tailgate. Nick, you can talk to it as well.
Please.
Well, I mean, food in general, whatever event you're at, brings people together. But there is nothing like going to a football game with this perfect kind of weather. It's just a little chill in the air, and to have like the amazing culinary feats that people are pulling off in the parking lot, absolutely spectacular.
It is, and we lost it for a year, and now to have it back and to have the fans together, you have friends, you have families, everyone coming together to enjoy this time around Jets football, around food. That whole sense of community is unbelievable, and it's something that we really missed out on, and I think as I've experienced today, we are really making up for.
Right.
How much have you enjoyed spending time with Nick Mangold this morning?
Well, so I said to Nick earlier, I mean, I've spent many a Sunday here in this very house with Nick, but he was on the field. And I've spent some time in your box when you had a box with your family watching you play here. So it's nice to actually be here with you and eating with you this morning.
And Nick, we spent so many years playing. Can you talk about now we get the tailgate, you get to enjoy the game instead of just playing in it?
Yeah, so as you know, as you're going through, I never tailgated until I got done. Like that was not. But you drive through these stadiums, home and away. You get the smells, you get to see everything. Never having experience. So now being out and being able to go around and experience these tailgates and see what these guys do, the preparation, the setups, the grills. There was one over here. They had 6 different grills going, 6 different foods. Wow. It was unbelievable. And so to get to finally be into it, like I've always loved tailgate culture, but never having experienced it, I didn't really understand it. And now being in it, it's so much fun. I'm here for the tailgate.
Nice.
You all are making me very hungry, Ann.
I'm not sorry about that. I'm not
Not
hungry anymore. But really, I mean, I have to say, tailgating is like half the day. It's like the big setup for the game, and then it's like really you get here early, you spend time outside, you see the same people all the time every week, and it really does become such a great community. And it's game day, but it's not only about the game.
It is such a communal experience, and you all are going to go out and enjoy a little bit more about it. But there is a football game out here on the field in less than 2 hours. What are your thoughts on today's matchup, Nick?
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see this team come out, wash away everything that's going on, put out the doubters and everything and say, hey, listen, we're focusing in on this game and this game only, and we need to go out to do what we can do. We've seen that, Buffalo obviously is not undefeated. They can be beat. And is this team going to come out and be able to do that?
Hey, Nick, I got to ask you, this is a divisional game. We know how important it is. One thing about Buffalo, just from your experience, they roll about 8 or 9 guys on the D-line. What are the challenges just in general when you see a D-line? Because normally you're going to line up against the same guy the whole game. They got 2, 3 guys that may be over you. How's that preparation for the week for you?
Yeah, that changes a lot. Unfortunately, when I was there, they had Kyle Williams, and he didn't rotate.
No.
I got that bowling ball for all 70 plays.
Bowling
but when you're doing your preparation, you try to focus in on one guy and really try to get his techniques and what he's doing to you. But when you have to focus on 3 guys, that splits your preparation in the thirds.
Yeah.
And so you really need to hone in when you take your time to do that third, that you're 100% into that third. And so it is challenging, it's tricky, and you just – you got to rely on the things that you've worked on during the week, during, preseason training camp, and fall back on those when the times get tough.
Nick Mangold, Ann Burrell, thank you so much for joining
you, guys.
us today. Enjoy your afternoon. Let's hear it for both of them. Fans, we are making you part of All In or Not today. You can vote right now. Again, Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Mike White's making his 3rd start in the National Football League today. All in or not today, Mike White will pass for 275 yards or more. Vote right now. Let's get out to Chuck Lott.
Thanks a lot, guys. We're out here in the island presented by the New Jersey Lottery. And with me today, I've got Harrison Bernstein. He is the executive director of Soldiers to Sidelines and the founder. Harrison, first of all, thank you for being here with us today. And tell us about the foundation. This thing is fantastic.
Certainly. Soldiers to the Sidelines provides renewed sense of purpose to our service members, the military spouses, by educating and certifying them to become character-based sports coaches and then integrating them into their communities.
Okay, now, and I read about that, but I also heard that you guys have a clinic going on right now. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah. The New York Jets really rolled out the red carpet for our soldier coaches. We put on a 3-day seminar teaching our coaches some of the high human skills of how coaches can coach people better and some of the best football techniques by top NCAA and NFL coaches from around the country.
That is fantastic. And you talked about the coaches. You've got some history here as well. Tell us about the vibe for the day. Everybody's excited about this game. How's everybody feeling coming into kickoff?
Everyone's feeling super excited. I mean, it's game day. What's better than this?
There's not much better. I think we're done here, so.
Thanks, Chuck. Back to you guys.
Hey, Jets fans, to learn how to make some epic game day eats with Mekhi Becton, go to madeforjetswatching.com and download the recipe cards for amazing dishes like Pepsi glazed ribs. Pepsi, it's the official soft drink of the New York Jets. You are watching Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Eric Allen, Eric Coleman, and Anthony Beck. The flight crew is out here. We are celebrating all branches of the military today. Awesome environment here at MetLife Stadium. People coming into the building right now. It is time for our matchups to watch. Eric, we'll start with you.
All right, my matchup for today is Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen against C.J. Mosley, the captain of the Jets defense. Now, back in 2019, C.J. Mosley's first appearance with the Jets, he had a pick six, a fumble recovery, and since then he has established himself as the leader of this defense. Josh Allen is a guy who, before this season, everybody said this guy is going to be the one. Is that my matchup? Did I do the wrong matchup?
What's that? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, you took my matchup?
Don't follow that stream.
That's fine. You're doing such a good job, I decided to let you go.
I got excited, my bad.
I love it here.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Hey, no. Hey, listen. Josh Allen has led 7 touchdown drives in his 5 career games versus the New York Jets. But he's also turned the ball over 9 times. And here's a note for you, Bills fans. Josh Allen has 36 career fumbles in 52 games.
Wow.
Watch out for that matchup. There is the Jets quarterback there, Mike White, getting warmed up here prior to Jets-Bills. It is the Jets' 9th game, 2-6 entering the ball game, but 2-1 at home, and they are indeed at home today. The service game. Anthony, how about you and your matchup to watch?
Yeah, it's going to be that guy on the screen that we just saw, Mike White versus Micah Hyde. I mean, listen, this guy he's an eraser for the Buffalo Bills. He can make wrong right real quick, and he's got great ball skills, and he tracks the ball like no other safety in the league. It's going to be important for Mike White when he attacks the ball down the field. He's going to have to use his eyes and really just stare in different spots to just keep him off his point. And that might not even be enough in this football game. So they got to find a way to put a body on him when he's in the box. And they also got to find a way to, if they're throwing his side, to really make sure that they're using the way he uses his eyes and the way he looks at things to keep him away from the football.
The Jets have had nearly 1,000 yards of offense in their last 2 games, accounting for more than 30 points in those 2 games, despite playing with the pair of quote-unquote backup quarterbacks in Mike White and Josh Johnson. Mike White gets the ball today. Since Eric Coleman is on a roll, we're sticking with him. And we're giving him another matchup to watch because you wanted to talk about the Jets' defensive line.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this D-line now. Now, listen, they had a tough game last week, gave up 260 yards on the ground. I'm looking for this defensive line to step up, and listen, that's an anomaly. The D-line has been playing great all year. They've been dominant. Quinnen Williams, Jonathan Franklin Myers and company have been doing a great job. I think they get back on track today, dominate this Bills offensive line, and shut down that run game.
Yeah, that Bills offensive line dealing with some injuries up front, but they might have their right tackle back in the lineup, so things might look a little bit differently for them. The Jets did not play up to their standards against the Colts, giving up 260 yards rushing, and a lot of those yards, Anthony Beck, came before contact.
Yeah. Well, look, they got beat in the trenches. Bottom line, the Colts have a really good offensive line. They weren't hiding it. It was on film. And sometimes you don't know how good they are until they hit you in the mouth, right? So it's important for them. I promise you they'll start a lot faster. They will be the aggressors that they have to be. Because if they're not, Buffalo's going to take advantage of it today. So I look for a big bounce-back game as well. You're right. It's not been the MO of this defensive line to play like that. I expect them to bounce back, be much better, and really has to lead the charge in this football game.
After we get finished here, you can head over to CBS 2 for Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh. And then after the game, make sure you tune in to Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. The gang will be back. SNY has you covered both pregame and postgame as well. Speaking of Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh, let's hear from the Jets head coach right now.
We're about halfway through the season. What's it been like coaching this team and trying to develop the young guys?
You know, the same thing would be anywhere else. You know, it's fun, it's exciting because you see a lot of learning moments and a lot of aha moments from this group, and you know, we talk about a roller coaster ride and the ups and downs, and the faith that these guys are getting better and they're going to get to where we all want them to go. And you know, every day I feel like they've been getting better, and that's been the fun part of this.
You are watching Pregame Central, presented by Uber Eats. I'm Eric Allen, joined as always by Eric Coleman and Anthony Beck. Live shot at MetLife Stadium right there. We are on the island, presented by New Jersey Lottery. The flight crew is here. A lot of military members here as well. Big tailgating day. We had Nick Mangold on, Chef Ann Burrell. It's been awesome, bottom line. And speaking of awesome, it is time for one of the greatest segments in digital media. And that, of course, is All In or Not Today. Can we look at the leaderboard? Because we have a big-time change. Yes, myself and Eric Coleman are leading the way with 5-3 records. Anthony Beck, not too far off the pace, but a couple games off 500. And then there is the man, Ethan Greenberg. Let's hear it for Ethan Greenberg.
I'm on the board, boys. Don't call it a comeback.
1-7. You have not been officially eliminated yet from our playoff competition. Now, can you get on a streak? I don't know. But somebody recently had a message of salute to your latest win. It is lively out here. They don't even know they weren't live right now. Ethan, how nice was it for you, a Syracuse alum, to see Otto the Orange out there?
Yeah, you know, that means a lot to me. I went to Syracuse 4 years, have my degree from there. It's nice to see Otto help me out a little bit, you know, friend helping a friend. We got to win. I like the support. Now, it's what you said, EA. Can I continue a streak, or is this a one-time thing? I'm hoping that was just the first of many to come.
Okay, let's start right there with Ethan.
Oh.
Elijah Moore and Corey Davis will have more combined receiving yards than Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. What says you, winner?
All right, so I'm going to go not today on this one. The Buffalo Bills allow an average of 177 passing yards per game. That leads the NFL. The Jets, on the other hand, allow 272. So I think that Josh Allen, being the quarterback that he is, they like to pass the ball a lot. We haven't talked about this Bills running game a whole lot. Devin Singletary has averaged 26 yards per game over his last 4 games. So I'm going to say not today on this one.
Okay, so you're going Diggs and Beasley, Bob.
I'm going Diggs and Beasley.
Ethan, good luck today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We celebrate your victory. Eric Coleman, it is your turn. You're tied right now with myself atop the leaderboard. The Jets will hold the Buffalo Bills under 119 rushing yards. The Bills, of course, are averaging 119 yards this season on the ground.
I'm going to go all in today. I think this D-line is going to bounce back. These guys have pride. These guys take pride in what they do on that D-line. You see Quentin Williams getting warmed up. He's not going to allow the D-line to give that up. C.J. Mosley, this group of defenders, is not going to allow the run game to beat them. They're going to hold them under 119 yards rushing.
Well, you can expect the Bills to certainly try to test that run defense. It's a matchup we're going to be watching all day. Anthony Beck, the Jets will have 0 turnovers versus the Buffalo Bills. All in or not today?
You know, clearly when we do this little game here, I don't go for the layups. Some guys go for the easy ones, easy questions. I like to put my name on something that's hard, okay? No turnovers versus the Bills. I think they lead the league in turnovers, right? Turnover ratio. Listen, if the Jets are going to win today, They can't have any turnovers. So you know what? I'm all in.
There we go.
That's going to be the way they have to win this game today. Protect the football. If they protect the football and they do what they've been doing on offense with Mike White and getting the ball and spreading it out, they can be in this game in the fourth quarter, and that's what I expect to see.
I don't have that luxury that you do, Anthony. I need to be careful with my choices here.
I missed the ticker tape parade, by the way, at Florham Park. Did they have one for you for that?
All right. I'm on deck. The theme today has been all in, and I'm not going away from that as we see Cole Beasley say hello to Mike White out there on the field. The Jets will score at least 20 points today. I'm going all in. You know, the Buffalo Bills have the #1 scoring defense in the National Football League, but they are missing a pair of impactful starters. The Jets' offense is really flowing right now, fellas. I talked about nearly 1,000 combined yards in the last 2 games, putting up more than 30 points on the board. And there it is for the fans. They're going all in today,
there we
too.
go.
Mike White will pass for more than 275 yards for the Buffalo Bills. 68% vote yes, about 32% vote no. Let's get to those game day inactives for the Jets. Zach Wilson leads the way. LaMichael Pirine, Williams, Tim Ward, Jonathan Marshall, and then the recent pickup, Elijah Riley. That is all we have time for today. It's been a brilliant experience out here on the island as always. Make sure you tune in to Jets Overtime after the game. But right now, if you're viewing locally, Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh is
Shout out to
airing.
the soldiers. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear it for the military today. We are
Thank you,
all
guys.
in for Salute to Service.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
The whole show, the USA Patriots softball team has been here in the front row, and to thank them for their service, we are upgrading them to the WinBet Green Room.
Let's
for
go.
the game.
Yeah. All you can eat, all you can drink, fellas. Ladies, that's good.
We salute you for your service. Enjoy the game. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We're signing off.